Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll begin reviewing my games from the 7th annual Cincy Tri-State Go Tournament, Cincy being short for Cincinnati, Ohio. Although technically the event it was a little bit outside Cincinnati, but close enough. This tournament I've actually been to before. Oh, it's been a while. It was definitely pre-pandemic, I think around 2017 or so. And I did actually end up winning that event. But obviously things have changed since then. And it's been, I guess, around 7 years since then. So I was excited to play again. And I know the TD very well. So I'm always happy to travel and play in this event. The setup for the tournament was in the open division, which it was a little nebulous. Like before the tournament, it was set to a different rank. At the tournament, it was a different rank, so I'm not entirely sure. I think it was somewhere around 3-dan and up was all even. It was all even, 3-dan and up. And the time settings for the game were 30 minutes, absolute time, but every move you play, you get 10 seconds added back to your clock. So it's called Fisher time. It's more popular in chess. And yeah, that was the time settings. And it's a 4-round event, so there'll be 4 game reviews from this event. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the first round, which my opponent for the first round is Stephanie Tan 3-dan, who I have actually known for quite a while. Again, my years start blending together, but when I was doing my Lake Erie tournament many years ago, again, I think pre-pandemic, Stephanie would come out, and at the time, Stephanie was only like double-digit Q or something like 9Q, 8Q. And obviously since then has gotten very strong. I believe at this Go Congress, the one in Portland, she was participating on the final round or the final games of the Girls Cup there. So very strong opponent. Again, even though it's 6-dan, 3-dan, it is an even game, but that doesn't mean I can let up, as we see in this game. But without further ado, let's jump right in. I am white. My opponent is black. We get a cross opening, cross Fuseki. Black approaches, and I approach. Basically saying, okay, black, depending on how you play the upper right, will change how I play in the upper left. Of course, black knows this, so before black plays in the upper right, black's going to play in the upper left to then decide how to play at the upper right. And a lot of Go is you're actually trying to ask questions to your opponent so then you can make decisions. So black leans, and so crawl, and then jump, and then answers. And then answers. Again, if black started here, which you can play a move around here, then white will be able to decide based on what you played in the upper right how to play the upper left. So that's why black says, okay, since I know, or I'm going to figure out what you want in the upper left, and now that we see white's okay with just taking some points, because while this is a forced joseki, there are other moves white can play. So it's not a like a for sure thing, even in some cases, because it's an equal position. White could play the shoulder hit, wouldn't recommend it, but you never know what could happen. So that's why black is going to play here first to also make sure black gets it. Again, this move could be viewed as gote, and then white can play something up top. But we can see that if this is going to happen, like black does in the game, it wouldn't make much sense for then black to pincer, right? Because black pincering is saying, okay, there's a lot of points up here for me to nab, but as we can see, this would just be black making a weak group. So that's why in the game, black goes here. Again, that's why black could start here like this and then do something, right? Let's just say we just play a very simple joseki. Now black might not play the exact same way in the upper left. So order of moves is important even in the Fuseki. Stand up. And then this is black's first, again, not a huge mistake, but it is something to point out, is black extends 4 here. Now the problem with extending 4 here, normally the move you see is simply extending 3 from the C15 stone, is this one. The reason is, and we'll see in a few moves, this is not a perfect connection. And while technically this isn't a perfect connection either, it's a lot more solid than black's 4-space extension. And so what we'll see is let's play some moves. When white jumps here, black has a connection problem on the upper left. So if black were to go elsewhere, then white can, again, there's a lot of choices white can make here. Oops. Here. Sorry. Here. Again, white has a myriad of options there. Whereas if black were to extend here, there's not as much of a problem. Even just directly, if white comes in, you can just play on top. So while black's trying to prioritize really more the side and play on the star point, that's actually what she told me when we were looking at the game afterwards. She just, play a star point, can't be bad. It does leave a little bit of wiggle room for white there. And so white's able to jump later and get the a response. So black touches. Usually you don't want to do this. Yeah, normally you don't want to attach, because whenever you attach, you make stones stronger. So normally that's why you see just jump, especially if you're trying to build the left side. But here, black's really trying to, like you can see here, sorry. If you look like this, black's only on the 4th line. Whereas like this, black's already on the 6th line. So black's really emphasizing a big moyo on the left side. And so once again, I jump. And this is just asking black, how are you going to play? Because in the game, black jumps here, which again is a very reasonable move. But it's because black really owes a move because black extended 4 lines in the upper left. Now, I think here, this move feels a little tight. It feels a little close to black stones here. Now, I know black doesn't want to do something like this, because then it's really like you extended and then extended again very small. But I really think black should, if black's really going for kind of a big moyo here, I think shoulder hit is possible. I think shoulder hit is possible. You can see how even that stone F13 lines up with black stones on the bottom on the F line at F4 and F5. And when stones are on the same line, they have a very good connection with each other. Yeah. So black goes here. And here's the question. Black's left side, what do you do as white? Do you just let it happen? Let black's left side keep growing, or do you come in? And all of these questions all of these things that I were playing were to see how black's going to play. So one is it's also important to note that this move is again a little based on how black plays in a second, this move is not really following black's plan. If black's really trying to build a big moyo, now's the time to play some move like maybe Hane and then Hane again. Because the most white can do is just play this. And even technically help black solidify the left side in some circumstances. Yeah, and by the way, black is okay with this because black will just give up the 2 like this. So there's no real danger with this double Hane here. But yeah, when black goes here, black should really be saying, okay, I'm going to look to attack the lower side. And now the question is, what is the weakness or the weak shape of white's lower side? So like, let's say white jumps here. Black could have attacked, because I'm threatening to attack the upper left, but black could have turned the tables and attacked the lower left. And the move to look for is this spot, the 1-space jump from this 4th line stone. And this shape does come up a lot because it's always the weakness whenever you get this kind of variation like this. Whether black does this, that's still the weakness. That's still the weakness. And the idea is we're going to look to, after this, if white does anything else, even stand up, we're looking to H2 next. So this is kind of the follow-up to the shape there, yeah. Even Hane first and then play down. And this even comes up in a later game of mine, actually, in this exact tournament. So, yeah, this would only make sense, though, because we played C3, because we're taking away the base for the stones, but we'll see what happens in a second. So I shoulder hit. Again, I don't want to do anything coming in too deep. You do not want a weak group, especially as you notice, besides 2 stones, all of black stones are on the left side. That means stay away from the left side. If black wants the left side, give it to them. And we can see black does answer, right? And then black turns. But this is not the weakness of the shape. This is now even a better time to just to play the weakness. Because again, if I stand up and we get something like this, even black connects now. Now black's threatening to surround the 2 stones here. And J4, believe it or not, is still an annoying spot for white. So it's not easy for white. But black turns, gets rid of that weakness. And now there's not going to be as good of an attack. And black even adds a stone here. I would definitely think about jumping once. I would definitely think about jumping once. If white's very confident, white will turn here or cover here. But if white goes elsewhere, let's say just anything else, then we wouldn't add an extra stone to solidify the left side. But if we can get white to add a stone, then we fix. Now white's 2 stones are now 3 stones, so now they're worth more. So again, this was a chance for black to kind of ask white, what is important to you? Do you value these 2 stones? When black immediately, when black immediately goes here, they have already lost value for white. They've done everything I needed them to. Because if I save them, I've reduced black down to 3rd line territory. But if black takes them, black now is spending these 3 stones, right? D10, C7, and whatever stone black uses to surround 2 stones. So 3 stones to 2 stones. So, yeah. So I turn, and then black comes in. Black comes in. And we do variation here. And then black comes in. And this was the moment that I felt very confident in this game. Because just a few moves ago, I was talking about how I wouldn't want to invade the left side here as white, because that's where all of white's strength is. But when black goes here, black is invading where white is strong. And I think part of that, and we'll see in the game, kind of led me kind of astray, feeling like I kind of have to do something drastic against a stone. But we'll see that that wasn't true. I could have switched things up. So played there, black bumps, and then plays here. And again, this is where I got a little too, not even bloodthirsty, but just too single-minded. Is all I need to do here is just R2. 1, this uses the stone that I just played. The whole point of playing P2 is I'm going to play R2. And playing R2 forces black to then go here. And then I can maybe S3. The thing is, S3 is not always Sente. Whether I S3 or then play something like O16, we can see the bottom side is very solid. Even, I think, just adding a stone, something like this, that bottom side is pretty big. It's pretty big. And I've gotten into black's corner. So black's corner is smaller as well. By turning, yes, I am keeping that stone at R10 isolated. And we'll see that I am looking to specifically play something like R12, which I do next. It's, again, the bottom side's what's big here. I should just cover at O3. I can just cover at O3. Again, even if black jumps like this, even if I jump with black, something along with black, the bottom side's just so big. And there's still Aji of moves around R12. If black fixes it more passively, then I don't need to worry about black coming into the bottom as much. So yeah, both this move and this move would definitely play too quickly and kind of thinking in one way, because obviously black even shoulder hits again. This is a chance for me to just give up that 1 stone and just play here. Again, if black wants to cover here, or black has a few options, maybe this one. I like this one. It's very fancy. But then I can jump here. And again, okay, black takes the upper right, but I got the bottom and now the right side even. So, but I jump, black jumps, and then black pushes and then stands up. And after standing up, you could see it's actually pretty tricky for white now. Like overall, the game's still even, but it's hard for white locally to really attack the stone at 0-3. And I think that's kind of where I was blinded, is I was like, oh, well, you're surrounded by my stones, so of course I'm going to be able to attack you. That's kind of what I was thinking. But as we'll see, when I play P1, it is actually so easy for black to just make a good shape in this position, despite me having most of my stones on the bottom. And the reason is, while I have stones nearby, I have weaknesses in my shape. So for example, black goes here. I would like to be able to play something like M4 or M3, I mean. But there's a obvious weakness at H2. If I have to play this and then black can come under, you can see I'm not even alive in the lower left. So when black does that, I have to fix, and then black even peeps. So you can see black's using that weakness too. And so to go back to P1, the problem with P1 is directly how does this move make profit? It doesn't. It's just dame. If black ends up living on the bottom, this move is just dame. So I should simply just maybe cap. And again, who knows what could happen? Maybe black extends something like this. Let's say even we get a very peaceful result and black ends up connecting. Okay, all of a sudden, I've switched my moil from the bottom side to the left side, and this would be okay. It's because I've now connected all my stones. But as we see, going there, black peeps, I could not just connect. Black connects, or I connect. I go here, you can see how much flatter my right side is, and how, just see how hard it is to attack the black side. So this combination of moves here between blocking, invading, answering this, and then coming down, were just so bad. So yeah, maybe white had before black 3-3, maybe white had or even when black invaded here, white was doing okay here for sure. But after these kind of 3-4 mistakes, everything is not so good for white now. Because white now has to translate P1 into points. Otherwise, again, it's just dame. And so here, I think black could just simply jump here. It's hard for white to now avoid playing P6, because no matter what black does, again, literally it could be any move, or whatever white does, I mean, black can then peep in Sente. And then can jump here, that's Sente, and then you can just see black's out, whatever black does next. So yeah, this is, and if white wants to fix, I have to then touch black stones, right? So yeah, when black goes here, I ask first by going here. If black pushes and cuts, I can stand up once, stand up again, and then connect. And to be fair, maybe I shouldn't go that far. Maybe just, what's the spot? Even just stand up once and connect. I don't want to force black to connect here because I am cut off. You can see now this would be a big crazy fight. Which I think has merit for black, but it is very complicated. So that's why I just kind of, especially when black has a good position here, you do not need to do anything super crazy. But all I knew was I needed to do something here, even if it was just this, and then connect. I needed to do something drastic here. I could not just connect. And black lets it. Black lets it happen. So black cuts that off. So you can see there's no real point in letting that go. Then black jumps. Jump there. Black covers. Hane and stand up over there. Yep. And then black caps. And again, though, the whole point of those stones were to treat them lightly, so I just peep, do something else. And you can see black's group in the upper right is not super weak, but black does have to be careful because, and that was really the plan with playing r14 here, is that is the weak spot of the black group. And after this move, if black were to just, I don't think black would just connect, but if black were to just connect, when white goes here, you can see black shape just gets destroyed. So black knows this, of course, so black plays there and then stands up and then play there again. Very nice shape point. So black peeps, and then I come in. And that was the whole idea with these moves, is I'm planning to attack the lower side. So I play in the upper right first. Because if I attack the lower side first and then play these same moves while black stones are in danger, black will play differently. And the thing with this move is the spirit of this move is correct, but it's not the right move in this instance. And because it creates a lot of complications for white, which again are not necessary. White is actually doing okay again in this position. After black let p6 get cut off, white was okay again. Again, by okay, I mean up by a few points. I mean, it's still a close game. And because it's a close game, white doesn't need to do anything drastic. White should just push here. White should just push here. The reason why in the game I did not was it felt too comfortable when black just covers here. I was really trying to be like, okay, black, if you think you're alive, prove it, right? And I was still having what's the word? Like daydreams of trying to make p1 effective. I still haven't really made p1 effective. Yes, I cut off the stone to p6, but I could have just played o5 to begin with, without playing p1. So I was really trying to make p1 effective. I'm like, okay, the whole point of p1 was to attack black, so I'm going to attack black. But it doesn't quite work the way I want. And it still technically worked a little bit, to be fair. The whole idea of what's about to happen is I'm trying to use this move here. Now, if I use this move first, black's going to cut. Black's going to cut, and then I have to take, and then I get squeezed here, and it's not helping a lot. Yeah, it's not helping too much. Like if I can't really attack black, I've gained a little bit, but not too much. So I was trying to find a better order of moves, so I do this first. Black covers, push through. Black hanes, and then I can hane here. But there was a move that we both missed in the game. Technically, this move's a minor mistake because white can go here and like, capture. But I don't think it's... Yeah, I don't think it's... It's very complicated again. Because technically black can cut. And black can't ladder these stones, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it is ladder. What is the sequence here? Is it just connect maybe? And then black has to connect and then, yeah, that's it. That's it. So technically my move connecting is a mistake. But this move, first off, my reading here is also not great because this whole sequence, I'm thinking I'm going to get Sente. Because I'm like, black, you owe a move on the bottom. You owe a move on the bottom. But one, if black takes, I have to connect here, and black's alive. But two, black does it in an even better way of playing here. I have to come underneath, and then black can descend and Sente. And now that's in a live shape. There's an even better way for black, and it's for black to simply go here. With the idea being, when you go here, the reason why I can jump here is because you can't cut because of this double Atari. But if you can play here, notice now that double Atari doesn't exist. Like so. So I have to fix. And then now black does the same sequence that they did in the game here into this. Now that's an alive shape. And then black can get the first move in the center, which is a big deal. It's a big, big, big deal. So yeah, one move makes all the difference here. But black still got Sente in the game, was able to jump. And again, here I'm feeling confident because I have this weak group. I'm even able to attach to the stone. Notice how black played this cap here, and I just ignored it. I just ignored it. And notice, by just ignoring it, I was able to get something from it, from playing against it, I mean. Black jumps, Hane, black extends down. And there's another factor in this game that you can't tell is going on, but is going on, is black's time is getting ever so more low. And I mean, I don't know if they're there yet. I don't remember exactly. But we're getting close to, they have minutes left. And I'm still at like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. So I definitely have a time advantage here too. And when we have a running fight like this, that can mean a lot. So I turn here. This is probably wrong direction only because we do have this fight in the center going on. It's hard to see a world where black just covers here to take the 2 stones and then lets me cap here or do something else. Because black's able to Atari and then jump. And here I'm like, oh, there's no real way for me to like catch black now. Black's threatening to connect to the left side, but also to the top. My 3 stones are all even getting isolated around here. So I cut. I should have saved. This exchange could help black, and in fact, it definitely would have in the game if black saw it. And we'll get to there later. But jump. Black leans. I jump here. Then black peeps, and this wasn't game ending per se for white, but I just take the bottom stones. And the reason why is I played this move specifically looking to cut off the stones. So when black went elsewhere, I was like, okay, let me take them. But I can simply just connect here. Black does not have enough liberties to fight here. Like so. Yeah. So I can just connect. Black does this so, and then goes here. But I do get Sente at least, so I can kick. And here white just has a, it's still very close, but white is slightly ahead here. Despite losing the whole center somehow. Kick. Play there. Black Hane's here. Yeah, this is where black blundered, and black was definitely with seconds left, I want to say. Or at least definitely under a minute. Because I can push and then cut. And while black's able to push here, and I can't cover because of the problem with the Atari here, black has actually given me a lot of points because black gave up not only 1 stone, but 2 stones. So black should probably start with the push to see how I play. Because if I still descend, or even if I still go here, black wouldn't still make all these exchanges like they did in the game. So Hane, and then covers. And so then we get to this move. And the point of this move is the reason why this move I played up top, this cut earlier, was unnecessary. I should just play the move I played, which I believe was here. I can save that cut because this stone black plays, a J14, has a lot of potential. So here black can, instead of connecting, black can push and cut like this. Push and cut like this. So the reason why we cut this way is, in general, if there's a cut, you want to cut on the side you don't want. So here black actually wants to cut at P18 and capture the P17 stone, right? If white goes here, we get something like that. Like this is what black would want. The reason why we don't cut there first is shape. If we get this shape, notice how much deeper white gets into the corner, right? White has a stone at Q18. Whereas if we go here, white would only have a stone at P18 instead of Q18. But what if white goes here, right? What if white makes the same shape? Well, now, one, we can see black wouldn't throw in now, which would be the same sequence as if you cut first. It'd be as if you gave white a pawn to keep. Instead, black could Atari, cut, extend here. Notice white can't cover. So black has to go here and then can have a ko here. And yeah, this ko would be quite big. Because white would be losing the whole upper right depending on what might happen. Now, it is a two-step ko, but technically white's a little bit ahead, so this would be good for black. So, okay, white has to connect. So now there's no ko. So what else is there? So instead, black can Atari, and then hit the goblin's nose, like so. And again, white can try pushing here to refute like this. But we'll notice after all these Ataris and black cuts here, white's unable to cut at h16. White cuts at h16. White ends up getting a lot smaller in the upper left. So basically, there's a lot of bad Aji, and while I didn't have all of this sniffed out, I had most of this sniffed out during the game. I just knew that this push and cut would be problems. So when black connects here, I bump here. What's even worse for white is this move by itself probably isn't Sente. And if it is Sente, there's probably a better way to fix than playing on the inside of your own territory. Like black could at least play this one. It's not the best shape, but if it's a move you're going to play anyways, and white's dead in the center there, it's just a fine move. So yeah, that's why I went there. But black went here, and again, this is because black's very low on time. So play there, and then it played there, and at this point, white does have a comfortable lead here. It is around like 8 points. We thought it was actually a lot closer when we were talking after the game, but it turns out white has a fairly comfortable lead here. Black goes there, but after making these exchanges that black made, and white made too, technically, white could attach here, and there's a lot of problems in black's shape. So if black simply just stands up, and then this is actually a very big reduction for white. It's a huge reduction for white. So black knows black needs to do something else, and at this point for sure, black has like 10 to 15 seconds left. So black has to play this fast, or read it fast too. So the way black would like to make it work is to bump here. But as we'll see, black has very bad shape if something like this happens. And it'll be some sort of ko / semi / dangerous for black, basically. Even white has clamps here to make things even nastier. It's a nasty shape for black. So that's why black hanes, but hane just simply works for white because white has this Tetsuji here, and this is a nice Tetsuji to know. That's the idea of this attachment, is we're looking to cut that knight's move at between c7 and d9 at c8. So black has to cover, and you can see this uses the one space jump I have too, because if black just connects, then I'm able to connect perfectly. And we can see black's even unable to, or black can't even go here because I can cut. So black can't even threaten any cuts here. So black covers because they have to, and then after the Atari I can descend, and it's black had like 2 seconds left and they did resign, but they were like it was definitely more of like, okay, I run out of time, because yeah, at this point there is just no saving move here. There's a cut at c4, but also white's threatening b8, so if black like connects here, then the 2 stones get captured. That's obviously game over. If black saves here, though, then white can simply cut, and the clump at the bottom left gets captured. But yeah, very, very strong game. Again, you look at this game, you wouldn't think of it as a 3-stone difference. And again, it wasn't like I was not taking it seriously or anything. It was just Stephanie played a very strong game. Stephanie played a very strong game. And again, if you look at this game through an AI or so, you'll see it's close throughout the entire game. I think the biggest lead's like 10 points or something like that. And even at some points, black was even leading. So even at some points, Stephanie was winning this game. So it was a very fun game to start out the tournament with. Not super happy with my play overall, but it was also like 9 a.m. So I do have to keep that into account after a long day of traveling the day before to get to the venue too. But yeah, if you have any questions about this game, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.